Okay, you want to read your family rules?
Yeah.
You can start up, Zaya.
Keep your promises.
Share.
Think of others before yourself. Say I love you.
Listen to your parents.
Do your best.
Say please and thank you.
Always tell the truth.
Laugh at yourself.
Hug often.
Use kind words.
Love each other.
Come on, Zaya.
So what are you going to do at school today?
My name is May Hampton. My relationship with Zaya and Amora, they are my biological grandchildren, but they are my children because I raised them since the day they were born, and they call me Mama.
80,000 children in Los Angeles lack a parent who can care for them. Incarceration, addiction, unfortunately, early death can mean that children lack a legal guardian.
The work we do with the Kinship Project involves helping relative caregivers who are standing in for parents, who are providing a safe, loving, stable environment for children when the parents can't or won't raise them themselves.
Kiana was 12 when she had a TBI, traumatic brain injury. After she had that brain injury, she was like a different person. And she didn't make the right choices. She had bad judgment on everything.
In my experience, what I had learned about traumatic brain injuries is that it does affect impulse control and decision making.
Kiana was living with me, but off and on, she wasn't here for weeks at a time, months at a time. So she was here, but she wasn't here.
When I first met May, she was a 55-year-old maternal grandmother of 3 grandchildren. She was an absolute joy from the minute I met her. A very warm smile, very sweet.
While Kiana was living here, she had 3 children. She'll use them a lot of times to control, to make you do certain things, you know. Thank you. You know, if you don't do this or do that, I'm gonna take the kids and go. She would take them sometime and leave them with the kind of people that she was dealing with. And I found out these places was kind of dangerous.
May indicated to me that the reason she came to our office is because the mother had recently removed the eldest child from school, removed the 2 younger children from May's home. The eldest child had not been going to school for several days and had missed important speech therapy sessions.
And really, she didn't understand what she was doing. She didn't understand the damage it caused the kids.
May wanted to put an end to the chaos, the volatility, and instability of these children's lives.
I called up BetTzedek and they gave me an interview.
We placed the case with Goodwin Proctor, and they agreed to help May Hampton become legal guardian.
And the next thing I know, they was right there. They were right in the court, and they done their job.
In December 2009, the general guardianship was granted.
It was just like, hey, here come the heroes. You know, everything was going great. Whenever she wanted to see the kids, it was fine, you know, she could do that. She would come maybe every 2 or 3 months. You know, now the kids don't have to suffer. I can, you know, I had them, and I could take them to the doctors. I could do everything and that the kids needed.
My grandma takes care of me very, very well, more than I need.
And the next thing I know, I had to get in contact with Erickson again. Say, hey, here's me, I am here again.
I received a call from Erickson regarding a case that Goodwin had handled years prior in securing guardianship.
There were allegations that she had been physically and emotionally abusing the eldest of the 3 grandchildren.
Ultimately, those allegations, through an investigation by the Department of Children and Family Protective Services, determined that those allegations were fabricated.
Nonetheless, Minors Counsel, the court-appointed attorney to represent all 3 children, had come to a different conclusion.
we ended up having to file a motion to disqualify the court-appointed minors counsel.
Teddy had to argue in camera with the judge about whether or not this was appropriate. In the end, the judge granted the motion to dismiss minors counsel, and new minors counsel was appointed.
I get a little teary-eyed because I'm a grandmother too, a great-grandmother. And I have my granddaughter that I've been raising. And when I see her going through all these things with the kids, I need to help. I need to be there for her.
You can't be around her that you don't recognize her love for God and her love for people. And it's just infectious.
It became clear that there was a whole community of people who witnessed May love and care for these children day in and day out.
They had issues with mom and her, not having like a stable home for them. And obviously the best place for them was to be with grandma.
It was a somewhat unusual case in the sense that we actually ended up receiving a lot of letters, a lot of declarations from people in the community, people at the kids' schools. So much support that in fact we ended up submitting, I believe, over 27 declarations and letters in support of May retaining guardianship over the children.
Here's the group that came to help me in court. This was the last day of court when the judge set us free. Amore's doing really great, I think, because she has a speech problem and also a bit of autism coming up. So she's in special ed, but she does really good and she really tries. Hey, little girl. She's good in track. She went all the way to the state in track and field with the running long jump. Zaire at school, one of his major things this year was being in that mock trial competition.
All rise! Superior Court of the State of California.
So he ended up winning the #1 bailiff for from out of all the schools in LA County. Oh, he's on cloud 9 now.
The first time I met the kids was in this office, actually, in this conference room. And they came in with so much energy and so much joy. And our job was to make sure that they remained in that loving environment where they felt loved, secure, and safe to continue to thrive.
May's case is particularly rewarding for me in two ways. One, to meet May and to know how happy and safe the children are is its own reward. But also, May's case stands as an example to me of the best of BetTzedek. Coupling expertise in probate and guardianship law with the resources and willingness to help from Goodwin Procter has really made a difference in May's life and in the children's lives.
Imagine if it would have been May on her own. Even if she would have felt as though the children weren't being adequately represented, I don't know that she would have been able to convey even that feeling to the judge or that it would have been heard. And so to have someone on board who was willing to go that extra mile and make sure that the client's rights were being protected, I think that's critical.
The Eisner Foundation is partnering with us this year to expand our availability for grandparents of all ages, for aunts and uncles of any age, for community members who are in that middle generation but can serve in that critical role for an otherwise abandoned child.
We've been able to mount an entire outreach campaign to members of the community to let them know what their rights are with regards to kinship care services, connect them directly with staff attorneys, and then place their cases with law firms across the county to make sure that the children in their care are being protected.
At the end of the day, BetTzedek is about keeping families together. Whether you're talking about aging in place or helping kids stay with family when their parents are gone, we believe that family caregivers are so often the solution to so many of the problems that low-income families are facing.
They create a miracle, that seemed impossible, but they did it.
Thank you, BetTzedek.
Thank you for everything. Without you, we wouldn't be like this. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Erickson, thank you. We really appreciate you. You made it all happen for us.